All right, you may know our next guest from the hit TV show Russell Simmons' Def Comedy Jam, because every night he was shouted out as Kid Capri, Capri, Capri.
That was good. Do it again.
Kid Capri, 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 Capri.
I like that. I like that. That's right, but he's done so much more, from producing a Grammy Award-winning album to directing a movie and now being featured on a new TV show. So please give Kid Capri an arise.
Kid Capri, Capri, Capri.
Welcome, Kid Capri. Thank you so much for being here. Well,
you
we're so honored and happy to be sitting next to a legend.
Thank you.
Yeah, I remember, you know, just like it was yesterday, sitting in my front room listening to Def Comedy Jam and seeing you, because you brought so much life and energy to the show.
Yeah.
But, you know, that was new for you, too. It was a new experience being on TV and everything.
Yeah,
How did that experience go? How did it feel?
Russell came to me. I did a after show for LL Cool J at Madison Square Garden, and Russell was at the show, and he seen how this crowd was going crazy for me. And he had just walked up and said, "What do you think about being on a comedy show?" And at first, it didn't make any sense to me, a DJ with a comedy show. But then I thought, who was out of question is Russell Simmons, HBO. Right. Let's just do it. We ended up doing it, and it was the biggest thing on TV, man. And it stayed that way for 16 years. We stayed on tour for 8, 9 years, and stayed on the airways for 16 years. We left and came back, still was #1. Russell was really the one that stopped it. He could start it back at any time and he'll still do good.
I heard he may, actually. There are rumors that it may come back.
Yeah, there was a big rumor about that, and it was definitely something a part of people's lives. Every time we went into their city to perform, you know, every show was sold out. You just see how happy everybody was, because it's comedy. People want to laugh and have a good time, so we always had a good time doing it.
They wanted to laugh, but they also wanted that music.
Right. Yeah, the music was a big part of it. When they seen it on television, you know, it wasn't really a lot of video time. You may see me 5 seconds here, 5 seconds there, but it meant so much to people that really didn't care about what the DJ was. And when they got a chance to see me come to their city and do the concert, then they really seen what the real show was about, and you know, it just really did something to them. So I was glad I was chosen to do it. I was glad that it was invented. You know, it lasted for a long time, and it put me in a place where people looked at me as different as just somebody just playing records.
Well, you were really one of the first celebrity DJs. Now they're everywhere, but before, I mean, you're a real pioneer. How did that all come to be, and did you realize back then that you would become a household name, particularly in the hip-hop community? Well,
the way I was raised, I always knew I was going to do something. I always knew it was going to be something that was going to be big for me at some point. I didn't know it was going to be the DJ thing. You know, I started when I was 8 years old, and you know, at a certain age, I got better than the older dudes that was around, because I had to guess every spot on the mixer. I had a mixer that had no headphones. I had to guess everything, so it made me better. And I just ended up staying with it. And a person that we used to, that was in our immediate crew, a girl named Olga Carter. She was about 13 years old. I was about 12. She said, "Kid Capri sounds like a good name for a DJ. You should try it." And
where'd she get that from?
I have no idea. She just popped up out of nowhere and said, we was on class, going to class, and she said it. And at that time, there used to be a sporting goods store called F&S. We used to buy a sweatshirt, put our name on there. I went the next day, got my name on the shirt. 3 or 4 months later, she was killed by a stray bullet.
Wow.
Yeah, so I kept the name, and it just took me out. But yeah, she was one of the immediate ones, and this girl was beautiful. 13 years old, looked better than any grown woman on the block. It was crazy. And when that happened, it was a big loss for us.
And that name is very different from David Anthony Love.
And they said I should use that as a DJ name. They wanted me to be DJ D Love, but back then you had to make up a name, so you know, that's what came up.
So you had to get something legit.
Yeah.
And it has really deep meaning for you too, so it plays 2 for.
Yeah, and also I'm half black and I'm half Sicilian Italian, so I didn't know that there was a city in Italy at the time called the Isle of Capri. You know, right? So now I went to Italy. I went to see Milan and Rome, but I never got to Capri. I'm gonna go over there too. So,
Capri is gorgeous. You'll really like it.
I heard it was. Yeah.
Well, speaking of traveling all over the world, I mean, you've traveled with stars like P. Diddy, LL Cool J, Busta Rhymes, Jay-Z, Usher, Mary J. Blige, and the list goes on and on and on.
Goes on and on.
What did all that touring do for your career and for your life and the experiences you went through?
Man, I toured so much. I was the first dude in hip-hop to buy a tour bus.
Wow.
I bought 2 of them. I bought my first bus in '97, and I bought my next one in '99. And everybody in the music business started going through me to get their tour buses. Before me, people would just rent them. You know, it was just so much work it's still like that. It's ridiculous with the dates. But it was just so much. I got so tired of being on the airplane so much that I just went and bought me a tour bus and just went out. And we do 200. At that time we was doing 250 shows a year. So now we're around 200.
250 shows a year.
Yeah, we're around 200 now.
You're literally working almost every day.
Yeah, pretty much. We work hard. We work real hard. Right now, we calmed it down a little bit. We do the weekends, the end of the week, and then we come back and I work at the studio, working on the albums and the television stuff and all that. But for a minute, it was 6 shows a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, besides DJing for A-list celebrities and traveling the world, you also produce music as well.
Yeah,
How did you make that leap from being on the wheels of steel to being in the booth?
Well, music always been a part of my family. My grandfather played trumpet for Dizzy Gillespie, Count Basie, and Miles Davis. My father was my
names.
father. Yeah. My father was a soul singer in the '70s, the '60s, and the '70s. He did pretty good. So the music always been around my house. And I grew up with the soul music and stuff like that. So when the DJ thing came out, it was inevitable that I was going to be a part of it. And I just stuck with it. It's just embedded in me. I wake up with it. I go to sleep with it. Sometimes I sit in my studio and I don't even have anything on. I just got to be around it.
Wow.
So is there a separation for you between producer and DJ? Does it all blend together?
It kind of meshes together because the best producers are DJs because they know the music. They know they're out there to see what the people want. They know that what's touching the people. So you'll make that type of music that you know that could reach. And I won a Grammy. I didn't expect to do that. I gave Hard Knock Life to Jay-Z, which was produced by 45 King, but then I produced This Like That. And the album went 5 times platinum, so I won a Grammy for that. And I did records with all kind of artists. But
you're underplaying just how big Hard Knock Life
was. It was super big. Yeah, his biggest record.
That was his biggest record.
Yeah, it's his biggest record, yeah.
And even he didn't anticipate it being so big.
You know what, when he came with, how he got the record was, I was on the P. Diddy tour, and I used to come out and open the show. Matter of fact, Usher used to come on before me, and I come out and do the show, and then I come out after the audition, after the intermission, in the middle of the arena. And I used to start with this record, The Hard Knock Life. I had just the beat on the plate. And people was running up to me saying, "Yo, kid, how you get that on the record? How you get that beat behind it?" And by the 3rd show, Jay-Z had ran up and said, "Yo, kid, where you get that from?" I said, "You want that?" He said, "Yeah." Called 45 King, got him on the phone. 2 weeks later, there was a record.
Wow.
Ridiculous.
Well, tell us about some of your, I know, right?
History.
Tell us about some of your other collaborations and who has been your favorite to work with. I know you've been with Madonna, with 50 Cent.
Yeah, 50, Madonna. Madonna was the last one I produced. Heavy D, I did Nothing But Love. I got Nothing But Love for you. Got produced that. Yeah,
Classics.
Yeah, I produced that. I wrote half of that also. Yeah.
Wow. Any favorites?
Really? Man, you know what, man? I love everybody, man. Anytime somebody call me and ask me to work with them, man, it's all an equal thing. I wish I had got a chance to work with Michael.
Yeah.
When I did the BET Awards and we did the tribute to Jam Master Jay, James Brown and Michael was on that show. James Brown, my favorite entertainer of all time. So when I got to meet him, it was like I couldn't even really talk. I was just stuck. But I wanted to meet Michael and do work with Michael. I've been saying that for a long time, but I just never got a chance to do it.
Wow.
And he's working up there in heaven now, I guess.
Really quickly, I have to ask you about this new brand of DJ, because when you all were coming up, you had turntables and you had records.
I still do.
Well,
I still keep it regular.
You keep it regular, but now you have these computer DJs.
Yeah.
What do purists like you, what do you make of these computer DJs who don't know how to scratch, who don't, know how to work a record?
I use a computer.
Okay.
I use a computer because for years, the reason why I bought my tour bus was because we was carrying 15 crates of records around the country.
15 crates?
Yeah, 15 crates. It got real crazy. So when the computer thing came out, I used it. I did use it. I use it now, but what I do is I use it regular. I don't use it with all the trickery that comes with it.
Okay.
And with my show Master with the Mix, you can see a lot of DJs that are doing different things now. It's crazy, like the things they're doing now. So I choose myself to keep it regular, but for them it works beautiful. So if I was to go that lane, I would have to step it up a whole nother bar.
Okay.
Now you mentioned your TV show Master of the Mix. Tell us a little bit about that because it just went from BET, now it's in its 3rd season on VH1, and you're giving opportunities to people who you were in their shoes one day, back when, and they're just looking for that big break.
Yeah.
So how do you feel being a main judge on that show?
Yeah.
First of all, this type of show should have been done a long time ago. But being that it's done now, it's a perfect time. I mean, this is our 3rd season, and that's a blessing within itself. And it gives a chance for people that will never be known or never be seen on a big scale, to be seen. And you know, to aim for trying to win $250,000, that's not a bad thing either. You know what I'm saying?
I'll take it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Wiki.
I like
all
that.
the way to the bank.
So Smirnoff has the big paper like that to do that. And I don't even think it's about, really think it's about anything less than what the culture is really about. Because when I came to the show, when they asked me to come to the show, I wanted to make sure that they wasn't compromising the DJ in any kind of way. You know, and one thing about a reality show, if you're not real on a reality show, it can mess up your whole life.
That's
Right.
true.
You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to make sure that when I get there, my part is played the way it's supposed to be played. You know, it's all real, it's nothing fake, it's no favoritism, it's none of that, and it comes across that way, and it works out. And that's what's really needed. So that's why the authenticity of the show is so important. You know, and it's a beautiful show, and I really, it's different than what's on TV right now.
Look at you standing up. You gave a standing ovation to a guy. He was killing it.
Yeah, like it gets like that, but I'm really known for giving them the screw face look, like you know, this look.
So you're the Simon Cowell.
Pretty much.
You're
I'm
the
Kid
Simon
Cowell.
Kid
I've
Cowell.
seen you keep it real. He's like, man, I've seen you say, man, that was boring, man. That was boring. So I'm glad you keep it real, because then we at home know, okay, he telling the truth. He telling the truth.
Got to. Yeah, it comes across just like that. And that's what it's always been from the first season to now. Like I said, on the first season, DJ Scratch, I felt funny judging him. I felt like he should have been right next to me judging the others.
Yeah.
Because he's a legend in his own right. But even him, he's my brother. Like, we like this. We talk all the time. Like, that's my dude. But even him, if he didn't do his job, he would have been off the show.
You would let him know.
Right.
Yeah.
So really quickly, what advice would you give to young DJs out there who want to be Kid Capri?
I mean, first of all, it's just like anything else. It's like a singer. It's like anybody that performs for any kind of, anything. You have to understand that it's not really about you. You're the deliverer. It's about the fans. It's about how they want to feel when they come to see you. You know, that's how I would think. How would I want to feel if I see myself and I was in the crowd watching myself? How I would want to, you know, feel. And that's our job. That's what we're here to do. We're here to make sure that people are satisfied, and when they get with us, they feel better than they did before they got with us.
Well, you've definitely done that for me over the years. So thank you so much.
Appreciate
Thank you
that.
for rocking all the hottest parties I've ever been to.
And we want to come to the next one.
Oh,
come party.
Whenever you're ready.
All right.
Whenever you're
Kid
ready.
Capri. How did you do it?
Kid Capri.
Sound good.
So who are some of your favorite DJs other than Kid Capri, which
course.
is obvious?
Right.
Tweet us at Arise TV 360 and let us know. Thank you. Kid Capri.
Appreciate you having me.